For us, it's
All right, so we'll be listening to the post game show. My name is Law Nation. Really appreciate each and every last one of y'all for jumping in. Yeah, so a little technical difficulties as we fill on up, man. Really appreciate each and every last one of you all for being part of this episode. Tonight, the Cowboys lose. It's okay, it's not the end of the world. You just got to take it one day at a time, and that's what we're doing from here. While I'm setting up, really appreciate you guys. Be sure to hit that like button, share this content, let a friend, neighbor, foe know where to go when they want to tune into Cowboys Sports Talk and beyond. I believe that they're having a little snafu on the radio station where it's going in and out. So if you guys have access to the radio station, let me know. And tell them boys wake up, Tell them boys wake up over there. Yep. Yep. So bear with me while I'm setting up everything. Really appreciate you guys for tuning in, by the way. Cowboys, it is what it is at this point. Evaluation time for your mind starts now, basically. And when we think about everything from A to Z, it's still too soon. It's absolutely still too soon to say, okay, let's go get a quarterback now. There will be some more and more quarterbacks down the line. So you got to let all of this stuff goes through. And I know people want to have high hopes to go undefeated in preseason, go undefeated in the regular season, but that's not how this thing works. It's absolutely not how this works altogether, Cowboy Nation. It's not the way this process works. Almost finished setting up, by the way, so bear with me while I figure this thing out and why in the world this thing is here we go. Let me see if I got
so
it.
they
Right
made
here.
we're
Here we
fluid.
go.
I thought that the defense being put in some tough field positions, the way they rallied, so we didn't win the game. I think the turnover ratio clearly being -2, and the 4th and 1 was a big play as far as the way the scoring went. But I thought our guys did a lot.
Let me know if y'all can hear that.
Tonight. I feel good about the foundation that we're building, and just as we talked about coming in here and expressed it after the game, this is a 3-day window for us. It's
Yeah, that was the end of that one. Okay. All right, so that was the end of that one. I don't know what's going on with their website. So check it out. Maybe it's upload, overload, over there on the website there, so you guys can get most of that information. Normally, you guys can hear all of that good stuff, but unfortunately, there's some type of snafu. I guess they mad they lost. Shoot, they unplugged the plug over there. Caston says Danucci is terrible. Man, I feel you on that. Ant Beast 2-3, yeah, I feel you on that too. Give me 1 second here, Cowboy Nation, while I set up this other thing. Hell, we can set this up this way where you guys call in. Let me do it that way.
Figure out though if
there we go.
Mad about the time management in this game.
I think he's just mad at the head coach in general.
Yeah.
It's okay. I mean, hey, I was specifically trying to ask him if there was a position that he was worried about the backups. I would say the offensive line.
Right.
Offensive line. I was glad to see Luke Gifford play well at linebacker. I think that helps. Wright playing at corner. I think that helps. We didn't see anything much safety wise.
No.
I know the first couple of tackles of the game was curse. And so,
Okay,
but
now it's back up.
As far as, everybody's trying to find that depth, and they're trying to find the players. And hopefully this, the guys that we kind of talked about, the Jabril Cox and guys like that will come through and help.
877-881-1053, 877-881-1053. Adam in Southlake. Go ahead, Adam. You're on the Dallas Cowboys postgame show.
Hello?
Go ahead, Adam.
No, this is Polo and Garland. What's up, Brian Brothers?
Hey, what's up, Paul? How you doing, man?
I call all the time, buddy.
You do.
Okay, I didn't see it. I was doing a tattoo, so I didn't see a lick of the game. But as soon as I turned the radio on, I heard you talking about the defense, brother. And I'm glad that you brought up Bohannon.
Yeah.
I know everybody talks about the offensive line. I mean, offensive line, defensive line. You know, whatever. But for anything to work, we need to win in the trenches. And
Right.
I'm glad that you said Bohannon showed you a little something.
Yeah.
Because I'm tired of our defense getting ran on like it's just wet toilet paper. That's every year. So I'm hoping that defensive line gets stronger. Now, as far as Jimmy Johnson, I'm glad my boy finally made it to the Ring of Honor.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, that's one of our curses that's lifted off of us. I mean, off the Cowboys, one curse lifted off of us. Now, you guys were talking earlier on the G-Bag Nation
Thank you for listening. Yeah.
about the Cowboys being the number one team. You know, as far as number one again, whatever.
With money, yeah, how much they're worth.
Now, brothers, how much do you think we'd be worth if we actually won a Super Bowl?
Ooh,
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's a great. I mean, there's no telling. I mean, the fans here. I mean, trust me, I grew up here, so I know about that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you win a championship here. There's no telling how many. I mean, maybe an extra $1 billion if you think about it. I mean, you just think about the fans. These fans are incredible. I mean, I fight the fans every once in a while.
Right.
I mean, but you got to love the passion about it.
No, it's incredible. I mean,
it is.
And every week we field calls from Boston and from New Orleans and from
St. Louis. I talk to fans. I talk to fans all the time from in Europe. And you talk about driving a team's value. Those fans overseas are serious about this thing.
And the valuation is like $6 billion.
Yeah, he's $1 billion higher than the next team, which would be the Patriots. And my feeling is the extra $1 billion comes from the revenue that generated the stadium.
But here's the thing: if the Cowboys were in the open market, like if the Cowboys were for sale,
a corporation would have to buy them probably.
16
they'd go for 10, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
16.
I'm thinking
billion.
a corporation would have to buy them, but you could have guys. I mean, there's some billionaire guys. I mean, the Bezos and people like that. Yeah.
I mean, you've got the dude that bought the Panthers like $3 billion cash. Here's cash. But like that's the thing about the valuation is it's like the valuation is $6 billion, but if the Cowboys were the open market, they'd get $10 billion for that franchise. They'll never be in the open market.
No.
But they'd go for 10.
Unless they don't want to pay the taxes on the estate.
Yeah.
Dallas Cowboys post-game show. When it comes time to shop for tailgate favorites, go to Albertsons and Tom Thumb. Get 10% off your groceries every Dallas Cowboys game day.
All right, so we're going to let them fiddle and fill in all of the other stuff, and we'll be feeding you guys some more information all together on this post-game show.
Give me your impressions. I think we talked about the offensive line. Give me your impressions of the defensive line.
Yeah.
Is this, of the positional groups on the defense, the one you're most excited about?
Well, I think the linebackers, if you're talking about the group, I think the linebackers are the group I'm most excited about. A little disappointed today early in that game with Anthony Brown because he'd been playing very well. Like he was my 9th rated player of the 15 that I'd seen at Oxnard. And he had that early in that game, the receiver from Notre Dame caught the ball. Claypool caught the ball on a separating out route, and he just wasn't close. And I've been seeing in Oxnard, he's been close to all the routes.
No.
Troy brought up something interesting tonight, by the way, that the Cowboy receivers got covered. But, we didn't see Lamb and Gallup and Cooper like we did. But, the other guys had problems. But I think I'm excited about the linebackers. I'm intrigued by what I was looking for, a little bit better pass rush from Armstrong and then Basham. Because I didn't feel like he got anything else.
You getting up from Armstrong.
That the one guy that Kamara was a guy, number 43.
Azura
Kamara was that. He doesn't get a lot of work in practice, but he got a lot of work in this game.
He did.
He was the one guy that seemed to was able to put some pressure. But I want to see guys. I want to see Bohanna and Urban. I want to see those guys. I want to see Gallimore.
Did Urban play in this game?
I don't think I saw him.
Yeah, I don't think so
much.
either.
Yeah.
It's Brian Broadasari Temkin. We'll hear what Dan Quinn had to say before the game, which I thought was really interesting. And Brad Sham and Babe Laufenberg played it before the game. We'll get into that. Plus, your impressions of Dan Quinn, because he is the reason for optimism, seemingly, going into this Cowboys
Gives you hope.
season.
Gives you some hope. Yeah.
Home to over 8,500 of your favorite electronic games, more than one.
Yeah, while they doing that commercial plug. Yeah, Boss Man did good. 43 Kamara, Azura Kamara, he did pretty good. Of just fighting and playing to the ball. His range and speed looks pretty good. I would like to see him with the ones and looking at that thing like, okay, with Parson and number 43 out there. First 48 did good too. He closed in on one play on Dobbs, whereas Dobbs, or it could have been Haskins, could have been a touchdown, but he closed in on it and forced them to do a field goal. So that was pretty good in my books. Let's see if they're back.
Spectrum.
They're on commercial break. So as they fill in and all of this good stuff, I want to be able to listen to the interviews and stuff. Y'all know how the post-game show goes. I think it's about an hour, 2 hours or so. So I'm here with you all. And then if time permits, then we'll just open up the phone line so that you guys can call in and spit your mind. I got my umbrella out, so just in case you guys are spitting a lot, I'll be ready. Parson did pretty good. Number 75 did pretty good. Maurice Kennedy did a hell of a job as well. So those boys, Anthony Brown looked just like Anthony Brown to me. Do anybody got any rebuttal? Anthony Brown looked like Anthony Brown. Did he look like anybody else? And yes, he'll flash here and there in practice, but that is who he's been since 2016. Had a hell of a year 2016, by the way. So excuse me, that's what he looks like since 2017. Do we have any rebuttals on that? AB just got to go. I just look. Out with the old, in with the new, right? Give Reggie Davis those snaps. Those snaps are very important. And I know that this is preseason.
And he just wishes they had started sooner.
It's still on commercial break. Let's look at this thing. I think I pulled it up here. Garrett Gilbert was 19 for 13, 104 yards. Remember I said if he throws 150 yards, that's what we wanted him to go for, but remember he only played like a quarter and a half, so 9 for 13, that's not bad. Cooper Rush 18 for 13, and then it went downhill from here. 7 for 17 for 89 yards in the INT. What the world was Gary Gilbert doing out there? Oh my goodness. Rico, he showed me a lot of promising plays out there. 8 carries for 43 yards, and that paints a good picture right there. That is pretty good. If you stretch that out the entire game, he averaged 5.4 yards per carry, which is not bad at all, Cowboy Nation. Jaquan Hardy had one big play. Braden Knox, 4 for 12. That lets you know that Braden Knox did a hell of a job out there comparable to Jaquan Hardy. And I can't believe he had this many attempts because it looks like Jaquan had more than 3 attempts. He had to have more than 3 carries. Come on now. This number cannot be accurate. Malik Turner fumbled on one play. He had 4 receptions for 47 yards, average 11.8. Just didn't really have a good show up and show out on the entire series. So to me personally, just didn't like what all he brought to the table, Cowboy Nation. McKeon had a great play. Number 84, he had a great play earlier. Shout out to y'all, man. Gary Gilbert is a bomb, holding the ball forever. This is from Jonathan Parrish. Hey, mods, just be a little liberal today on the people, man. Y'all don't have to block everybody. But shout out to the mods, though. You guys, man, been working hard today, and I appreciate the mods, man. Osiris Mitchell to get no plays, no touches. Ron Brown made a good play earlier. Luke Gifford, he got a sack. From what I can see right here, he got a sack and 5 tackles. Let me see what Boss Man Fat. Ain't no way in the world he only had 1 tackle. No way in the world. Let's see.
Lay, David.
Okay, you know the jingle. You know.
They're still on a commercial. Let me see if Pro Football Focus, they say that they be having grades out like right then and there, right? Let's see what they got over here. I don't know if I can do it like this. Dallas Cowboys. Let's go. Let's see if we can go here. Let's see if we go here. Okay. They only got the players' view right now. So, yeah, in about another hour or so they have – let me see what they got here. Hold on. Bear with me. They don't have it up yet. Okay. Wait a minute. I'll sign in a little later. I don't want to give you guys my stuff yet. I love y'all, but I don't love y'all like that. Cowboys. All right. Let me do it over here. Bam. Y'all bear with me. Let me sign in to Pro Football Focus. I love y'all, though. Y'all know I love y'all. I love y'all. You know, I do. Can't give y'all the keys to the whip over here though. Not just yet. Yeah, almost there. Appreciate you, Sanchez. Danucci got to go. Basically, yeah, he do got to go. All right, so I got it up right now. It's still 2020, so they haven't updated yet. They said they update after the game. Maybe that's during the season. Appreciate you, Sanchez.
Supporting sponsor.
Still on commercial break. So Hard Knocks come on this Sunday. Dark Beard, yeah. It's on the 10th of August. So whenever the 10th is, yeah. Kevin Joseph didn't get beat today.
Dynex, I gotta go.
How did she pronounce that man's name? Hold on, let me see. Let me hear replay.
Dynex, I gotta go.
Dynex. Dynex got to go. Danucci got to go.
Set.
Yeah, almost back. Boss Man didn't get burned today. He got caught on one time, and it was off of a similar play that but AB got burnt on. But they was in a zone coverage, and he was playing off ball, and they called the right offense for that play, and he got caught on one little play. If we're gonna do that, Joseph Torres, appreciate you so much for tuning in. Slum, what's good with you, Slum? Yeah. It wasn't looking that good for our backup quarterbacks, man. They need help.
He said he was.
Post-game show brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Store with top brands like Adidas, Shimano, Rawlings, Columbia, all at guaranteed low prices like you've never seen. Visit the...
Shout out to the post-game show brought to you by all of those flavors there. This is Brian Broaders and Ari Temkin. Be sure to follow their independent channels. I don't think Brian got one, but follow him on Twitter and reach out to him in those fashions.
And so the best of the best, you get to prove it. And I have a sense there'll be some people on this defense that will have very big chips on their shoulder with much to prove. Coaches included.
Coaches included.
Yeah.
Dan Quinn's got a lot to prove.
He does. I again, if you listen to our show, G-Bag Nation 2 to 7 every day, my friendship with Tom Dimitroff, former GM with the Atlanta Falcons. Tommy D told me, he said, listen, you're going to love Dan Quinn. He goes, you're going to love this guy. This guy's a teacher. He's highly respected. The players like playing for him. He gets the best out of your guys. And I was, after last year, I go, that probably not too hard to do after watching what they went through. Those training camp practices there at the Star with Mike Noel and the crew and every other play. It's like, Coach, can we see that again? Coach, can we see that again? That's when coaches yell that means there's been a bust, a mistake. The thing with Dan Quinn, it just seems like that the guys are in position. They're in better position. They're adapting to him, watching him coach. I know Jeff Kavanaugh and I were along the fence line over there. They call the trench. We're in the trench area. And watching Dan coach. And like Jeff and I for like 20 minutes didn't say a word to each other. We were just listening to Dan Quinn coach and take individual players and stuff, and you're watching him and you're going, okay. And you can see the players responding to him in that way. And even Tank Lawrence is saying, hey, bringing the swagger back, and I think that's what this team needs. It needs somebody. I'd be honest with you, Ari, I think he's going to have to do it through smoke and mirrors.
Right.
Maybe the first 3, 4, 5 games. But once they kind of figure things out with him, I think they'll be fine.
There's more talent here, but there's a lot of young players. It's hard to be good immediately in the National Football League. 8 of their 11 rookies are defensive players. They're going to be counted on to play crucial roles for this team. It's Trayvon Diggs, their number one corner, a second-year player who was injured, missed a lot of time last year. Like, there are a lot of young players that need to develop that are being thrown into the thick of it to try to make this defense average.
If the saying is iron sharpens iron,
yeah, that's my saying.
Diggs going against CeeDee Lamb every day at practice is iron sharpening iron.
Yeah,
because there are days where CeeDee gets the best of him, and then there's days where Diggs hangs in there and doesn't allow him to run a vertical route on him, and stays in position or knocks a ball down.
Right.
That's what you got to have. You're going to have Diggs making some plays. You're going to have Parsons making some plays. Van Der Esch is going to have to make some plays.
Facts.
Guys on that, they're going to have to overcome some things, I think, like I said early. But once they do figure it out, maybe they have a good chance. But again, this is a lot of this I'm basing on what Tom Dimitroff was telling me about Dan Quinn, the teacher, the person. And I'm listening to these players talk about him, and I'm encouraged what I'm hearing from them.
Yeah, my co-host on Sirius XM Big 12 Radio is a guy named Dave Archer, who's a former Atlanta Falcons quarterback, and now he's the color commentator for the Falcons. And so he knows and knew Dan Quinn very well.
Yeah.
And same things. Incredible person, incredible teacher.
Yeah.
Just a guy that remembers things about you that you wouldn't expect him to remember about you. Just a personable, relationship-based. We think so much about the schematics in football, and schematics are important. I don't want to diminish that, but relationship building, leadership, trust.
Yeah. Big trust.
These are things that are really, really important. I remember Nation Wright, when on the draft show, you guys were all flabbergasted the Cowboys took him.
Yeah.
And then you had him on, and in the interview, he talked about Dan Quinn coming to visit with him.
Hey, Miss Jackie.
Oregon, yeah.
And he said, what did you guys talk about? We talked about all these different things, about life, and about nothing about football. Nation Wright didn't mention anything with Dan Quinn about football. And that you think about, like, he has his fingerprints all over this draft.
He does.
He goes out and he's scouting players. Doesn't spend a lick talking football with these guys. I think that says a lot about who he is as a coach.
I agree. And Dimitroff was basically telling me, he's like, listen, we were a half away in the Super Bowl from all still being in Atlanta. He goes, we win that game, we get contract extensions, everything's fine and dandy. But they had a bad half,
right?
And Dan Quinn, did they have some questionable players drafted? Sure, they did. And Tom will admit that, but he couldn't say enough about Dan Quinn, the teacher, and the chip on Dan Quinn's shoulder is to try and get back to being a head coach. We were laughing at the Fox showed that graphic of the new head coaches, in the league.
Yeah, they did.
Dan Campbell and
Nick Sirianni.
And I was like,
David Culley. Who are these guys?
The guy at Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Urban Meyer.
We know him.
Myers,
we know him. Yeah. Everybody else is like, huh? So, I could see why Dan Quinn's got a chip on his shoulder to try and be one of those guys again.
877-881-1053. Let's talk with Will in Fort Worth. Go ahead, Will. You're on the Dallas Cowboys postgame show.
Yeah, I just got a couple of points I want to make. I've met Broadus one time, and we had a pretty lengthy conversation. I'm a Packer fan.
Okay.
And
sorry to hear that.
Right.
My team competes every year.
This is true.
I just wanted to let him know I don't think he's got to worry about having to apologize about McCarthy. I mean, whenever the Cowboys hired him, I was with my son whenever I found out, and I laughed. And my son was like, what's so funny? I said, look, they hired Packer trash.
Yeah.
And he goes, what do you mean? I was like, only reason why he was any good wasn't because of him. It was because of our quarterback.
Yeah.
And so basically, I just want to let him know I think he's the worst coach in the East, in the NFC East.
Oh, yeah, I don't know about that.
The guy at the Giants is pretty poor. I think we don't know about the Eagles guy, but I appreciate the
Joe Judge has had 3 guys retire.
Yeah,
Joe Looney got cut.
Joe didn't want to win sprints. I don't blame him. But no, the thing about the Packers, and I'm not apologizing. I'm just telling you, I've got friendships at that place still, and my guys are like, listen, I'm not trying to steer you the wrong way here, but there are going to be some red flags. And they started naming the red flags. And I'm like, okay, keep an eye out for that. The problem I have with Mike McCarthy is the year off.
I feel you, Carey. Salute to you.
The coaching staff that he brought in. That's the problem I have. I mean, I just, one of those flags, how prepared is he? And that's obviously he wasn't prepared.
Peter King sold us that he was really prepared, right? That was what the whole snake oil, impressive, in the bunker, learning football.
That's, and that's all stuff that, when you go back and look at that, there's teams that had to deal with how to teach these players how to play because they didn't have on the field stuff or they didn't have preseason games. And a lot of them did a great job. And the one guy that has experience as a Super Bowl winning head coach had one of the poorest prepared teams in the league.
And look, nobody's burying or firing Mike McCarthy today.
I'm just saying it's something that if it doesn't work out this year, you'll know why.
Yeah. Wow. And I know, like, we get tired of saying this. The Cowboys have so much talent. Like, this is a really good offensive football team.
Say it every year.
We do, but this is just objectively. This is a really good offensive football team. Yes.
When completely healthy, yes.
Dak Prescott, that offensive line.
When all lined up, yes.
Zeke and Tony Pollard, Michael Gallup, CeeDee Lamb. I mean, this is a high-powered.
Looks like Dalton Schultz is a pretty good player.
Dalton Schultz. Yeah. I mean, this is a high-powered offensive machine. This team's ability to go far in the playoffs and win a Super Bowl or get to an NFC Championship game for the first time in over 2 decades, it's about having an average defense. Right?
Top 18, yeah, would be great.
Top 18.
Yeah, that's what I hope.
Just don't be the worst defense in the history of the Cowboys from a scoring perspective. Top 18.
Yeah.
But if they don't reach their potential on offense, then there's no other finger to point.
Well, this is my hope. My buddy Andy Reid took a team. Well, he won a Super Bowl. He fired Bob Sutton, who was a great friend of his. He fires Bob as a defensive coordinator. They had a bad defense. He brought in another coach that he'd worked with Steve Spagnuolo. And Spagnuolo turned that defense around. It wasn't one of the top defenses, I don't believe, but it was middle of the
average.
Pack. Yeah, it was middle of the pack.
If you have an elite offense, you just need an average defense.
Yeah, but Steve did a great job of taking the players they had and holding that thing together to allow Andy and those guys offensively to win games.
I mean, if you can sack the quarterback and get after the quarterback, you can create turnovers. Like, those are things that it helps to be better at. But the idea here is you're just not going to win in the modern game with a top 5 defense and not a top 5 offense. The Cowboys are built the right way. With a top 5 offense, it just has to be average on defense. But if it doesn't reach its potential on offense, then it's the fault of the head coach.
If it's say 25 on down, that's going to be tough for this offense to have to overcome that.
The post-game show brought to you by Miller Lite, the only beer.
Man, they are crucifying Mike McCarthy. Oh, my goodness. From a scale of 1 to 10, where are you guys placing Mike McCarthy? 10 being the highest. And my goodness. All right, so let's look into the stats and things. The final score was 3-16, Cowboy Nation. We scored 3 points, a field goal, which could have been a touchdown, by the way. Nobody scored in the second, so that was like pure defense. And then in the third quarter, the whole thing just fell over, man, for the Cowboys, and 0-0-0 from here on out. But when we look at the stats says otherwise. If I was like an alien from outer planet and I fly in and I look at the stat sheet, I would say, well, the Cowboys won this game. They put up 347 total yards, 238 passing yards to the Steelers 174 yards. Rushing wise, the Cowboys put up 109 rushing yards, comparable to the Steelers 76. So even yards per play, the Cowboys averaged 5.1 yards per play, juxtaposed to the Steelers 4.2. So the Cowboys literally had 21 first downs, and the Steelers had 14 first downs. The efficiency level, as far as third downs, 7 for 17. The Steelers was 5 for 13. Fourth down efficiency level, 2 for 3. The Steelers was 1 for 2. Sacks allowed, that's where we had issues at. The Cowboys allowed 4 sacks. The Steelers only allowed 1. 3 punts for the Cowboys, 4 for the Steelers. The fumbles lost. We lost 2 fumbles. Steelers lost only 1. And, of course, we threw an interception. Time of possession, we had the ball longer than the Steelers. Turnovers cost us this game, Cowboy Nation. In the efficiency level of the quarterback, whether it's the quarterback going all the way down the field and punching it in for a score, or the evaluation process for the backup quarterbacks in the second half, cost us this game. So when we look at everything, I can't put this all on the coaching, because the coaching really, they put up more total yards, they put up more passing yards, they put up more rushing yards, as well as yards per play. So they won in every single category but the turnovers. You got to protect the ball. Now, I do know that this is preseason. You got to learn from this. But you can't throw the baby out with the bathtub now or the bath water now, because you gotta sit back and play the waiting game. There will be better equipped quarterbacks that will be released from their team when they do the final cuts. So you just got to play this game now. But you just can't just go rush and say, okay, let me bring in somebody. No, you got to play it smooth. Yeah, the kicker too. The kicker situation. Shout out to you, Dennis Washington. Appreciate you so much. Yeah, the kicker missed a few kicks there. Let me see if they're back from commercial break. They're still on commercial break. Turnovers, you can't win the game in turnovers, point blank. And on top of that, shout out to the first team unit. And I believe when we go back to this telling score here, the first team unit looked pretty good. That's why we was able to capitalize off of the 3. And then all the way into the second half, before the second half, you did a pretty good job. You kept them at 0, and then the second quarter, you kept them at 0s and these sorts of things. So by being the first game, a little rust, a little jelly bellies here and there, now we just got to rewind, watch everything, and then by the second game, you want to see if they can make those tiny improvements and make sure everything is okay from there. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. That's just my objective thoughts right there. As far as this team, backup offensive line was bad, yeah. And number 79, kumbaya. Let's get rid of number 79. I know I'm not trying to make it a prisoner of the moment type of situation, but whenever you have, was it Highsmith to destroy you on 2 consecutive plays, and it was actually 3 consecutive plays, and then they said, you know what, let's get this guy up out of here, let's save face, and let's bring in Brandon Knight. That's what happened with that. Yeah, we like experiences, but it just wasn't enough, man. That guy, I heard that even in practice, I'm talking about practice, number 11 folded him up too. So and I'm talking about number 79, Ty, and he's a veteran. He's long. That's a long tooth. He's like 36, 37 years of age. Still was even better than 79. Facts, Dallas fan, 1997. It's just that he played at the left tackle and Steele played at the right tackle. We didn't really see much from Steele as it relates to him making a boo-boo play.
This product.
Yeah. Who's number 16? Oh, I forgot all about Reggie Davis. He's number 16, MGB. He didn't make this team. I don't think he's going to make this team. He pressed all night. He made let's go back to the stat line for your mind. Let's go to the Cowboys side. Let's go by receivers. He caught 2 receptions for 12 yards, and he averaged 6 yards per reception. And on top of that, he was on the punt return or kickoff return, and he had a fumble. They don't put it down on the stat sheet, but I remember, So that's Reggie Davis, number 16. Shout out to McKeon. He had a great play, and as well as Dalton Schultz, he had one great play as well, who took it the distance to get that first down. Shout out for him for fighting for that extra yard. Yeah, Turner, he was in and out. 62 need to be cut. Yeah, he had some bonehead plays. Maybe it was the jelly bellies with him. False starts are mental plays.
You've got that old clunker.
False starts are mental plays. Holdings, when you get called for holding, that's when you got your butt whooped and you just trying to reach and save face. Yeah, Reggie Davis is not it, man. Yeah, you're right. Reggie Davis is a capitalist, Shout out to him, though, Made a lot of money over here in Cowboys land as it relates to getting a contract for $680,000 and another contract for $630,000. That's a lot of money. That's more than what doctors makes over here in Dallas. So he did a great job of positioning himself to at least getting a second chance. And I believe collectively over his short career in the NFL, he made north of $2 million. So at the end of the day, he's doing better than most, right? AB can go this from Jay Lombardi. Hey, you preaching to the choir now. Law, I was impressed with Big Bo. Yeah, I was just a little worried at the end. We don't need to get no senseless injuries at the end. It's still on commercial break, so I can't wait to what will be the next topic. Wish we could have won this one for Jimmy. Yeah, it was Jimmy up there. Who else was up there? Cliff and as well as Drew, right? All of those guys was up there watching. 48 Cox looked pretty good. Yeah. X Woods or on some other team pursued the tackle. This is from Addie Key. Yeah. Yeah. The Steelers have Chaz Green, don't they? Do the Steelers have Chaz Green? If they did, he performed pretty good tonight. Claypool burned right. This is from William Anthony. Yeah, he won off the LOS, and he continued to fight upfield. They said he pushed off a little bit, caught the ball, landed on the ball, knocked the wind out of him. Cooper Rush was, just from Dallas fan. Let's go to Cooper Rush stat line. He was 8 for 13 for 70 yards. He started off grease lightning, hot. He was red hot when he started it off, but then he folded in the end.
Schedule a free.
He didn't do much in the red zone. None of these guys. I was looking for either a fade or just a pass up the middle with the tight end. Take advantages of those two deep safety looks that they was giving you. They was so comfortable. The Steelers not even a 4-3, but they play a lot of cover 2 shells, man. So I would want the quarterback to take advantage of the interior of the field. And when they did do like a deep drag, I mean, those guys was right under. One was underneath and one was over the top. That's how they caught their first INT. Yeah, Big Flock. Yeah, 91. Yeah, Rush is better than. Look, here's the situation with Rush. We already know who Cooper Rush is. That's the thing. We already know who Cooper Rush is. Now, Ben DiNucci playing these 2 quarters. I'm about to say Gary Gilbert, but Ben DiNucci playing these 2 quarters, we kind of got to feel a little bit of what he is completely like is going to be like that for the rest of his career. If you want to try something new, go get Brett Hundley or go get JT Barrett or somebody like that. Could those guys exhibit something better? Marcus Mariota, but I'm with the belief you wait until after at least that first waves of cuts. There will be some teams that try to stash some quarterbacks, but there's some good quarterbacks probably on the bench somewhere.
What does he get for this?
I think it's the player of the game that gets something.
Oh, player of the game.
The player of the game gets something.
Okay.
Spoiler alert, it will not be Ben.
Brent Hundley went to the Colts? Okay, appreciate you, Jay Lombardi.
From the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, Mike McCarthy, on the Dallas Cowboys postgame show.
How did Connor Williams, backup center, how did he handle the time he had?
I mean, it looked like he had a clean series, but we're focused on maybe getting him some more work, some more work Saturday. But he was definitely on a pitch count. That's why he played the first series at guard and the second series at center.
First review of your rush and the region, how did you think?
Cooper did a nice job. Took a couple hits. Threw in the face of a couple hits. Obviously we had plenty of pressure to deal with tonight. So that's great work for the quarterbacks. There's a lot of good situations that we had tonight. A couple fourth downs. The 4th and 15 was a big play by him. Obviously, then we had the fumble. After the catch. So like I said, I'm more about building what we were able to accomplish. Definitely there's going to be a lot to correct, but these are good things that we can learn from and build. And I think the fact that we have tonight and then the Saturday work against the Rams back-to-back will, I think come this time, Monday.
There you go, Mike McCarthy.
I could explain why
he's stuttering
it sounded like that he was like at a bus terminal or like a warehouse.
Like they're breaking down the stadium as he's talking.
Well, first off, you don't realize how, those equipment guys are taking all that gear and they're trying to load those trucks up as fast as humanly possible. So, and it's a tiny, tiny locker room there at the Hall of Fame. You don't have enough. You got, the Cowboys didn't bring everybody, but you don't have enough space.
Yeah.
And so there's no area to really interview anybody. We used to interview guys along the fence. They'd bring them out to the fence and we would talk there by the field. So yeah, that's why it sounds like that he was literally standing in a warehouse listening to guys and gals throw stuff around.
There's other quotes from Mike McCarthy on Ben DiNucci. This one from Calvin Watkins on Twitter. Quote, I thought DiNucci made some throws off his back foot that were unique. So it's a long plane ride right back home, and I'm looking forward to watching the tape. I think it's going to be a lot of good things.
For Nooch?
It's a quote from McCarthy.
Yeah, about Nooch?
And friend of the family, Ben DiNucci.
Yeah, and like I said on Twitter, Mike's going to die on that hill. They're not going to carry 3 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
They're just not. They're going to have to carry. They're going to have to go long at a couple of positions potentially, and you can't carry a third quarterback.
That's my fear here.
Well,
is that he somehow thinks they should.
Nah, well, if Mike will convince Jerry and Steven and Will to put him on the practice squad.
Right.
He'll
clear waivers. No one's in a rush to get Ben
exactly.
DiNucci.
That's what will happen. And Cooper Rush and those guys. I mean, you could keep veteran guys on the practice squad, but I have a feeling that's where DiNucci's going to end up because Mike feels like that. Hey, I owe this kid something. He's a Pittsburgh kid. He worked hard in the offseason, and did he make a couple of good throws? Yeah. Did he make a couple of bad throws? Absolutely, he did. That interception he threw is kind of what he did in Oxnard.
Right.
That's just make a throw and it's not accurate, and let somebody get the ball out of your receiver's hands.
Big takeaway from this game would be Cowboys are in trouble if Dak Prescott gets hurt again, but we didn't need this game to tell us that because that's pretty much the case for 32 teams. Well, really 20 teams or so that have legitimate starting quarterbacks.
I'd be interested to see Gilbert. I mean, I don't want to see Gilbert play again, to be honest with you. I mean, I don't want to see him play
in a real game.
In a real game. But I wonder if with this offense, he made some good throws. The decisions he made in the goal line or in the red zone area, I mean, I could see for a guy, he's a quarterback that's played a lot of college football. So those are decisions that you have to make pretty quick. I mean, that stuff closes fast. The field's shorter. The reads have to be quicker. You can't hold the ball. And especially if you got guys like Brandon Knight and those guys in the game, you've got to know who your personnel is in the game and get rid of the football. So I would think that Gilbert I'm looking forward to broadcasting that game next week with Brad in Arizona and seeing that guy play live with my own eyes, and hopefully he can build on that stuff. But Stephen Jones, he ain't got no money.
Right.
That's terrible English. But he ain't got no money.
It's good English,
nor
man.
should he be probably spending it on the back quarterback anyways. Yeah. We also heard McCarthy talk about Connor Williams at center. It was one of the initial questions he got.
Yeah.
To me, one of the biggest subplots now is it's basically at this point, are you better off with Biotish and Williams or the Connors?
Yeah, see, the law firm of Connor and Connor.
The Connors?
The Connors. Yeah, I think to me that's where I'm a big fan of McGovern. I was a big fan of his coming out of Penn State, and the Cowboys have kind of shown that they have an ability. I shouldn't say that. We drafted Jacob Rogers in the 2nd round, and he was a bust. That's Parcells. We told Bill he's everything you hate in an offensive lineman, and Bill still took him. And I do blame Bill for that one. But the thing about it is, though, they've drafted some offensive linemen, that young ones that have worked out. So to me, yeah, if Connor Williams is better at center and it allows you to get Connor McGovern on the field,
got to get Connor McGovern on the field.
Yeah, I'm waving the pom poms for that one.
877-881-1053. 877.
The weirdest thing, McGovern is a hell of a player. About to say a cuss word, but he's a hell of a player, man. They need to put McGovern out there, though.
1053. James in Dallas. Go ahead, James. You're on the Dallas Cowboys postgame show.
Hey, so a couple of things. So we were watching the game. The first thing, Randy Gregory, we were all like, what's this guy done? If anything, I would have played him the whole first quarter, but he's waving the towel and throwing first down and laughing and goofing around like he's done something. He ain't done jack. So that's one thing we noticed.
Next game.
The second thing is we're not get off your lawn people, but Zeke with the big necklace, all the nose stuff, and we were kind of like, hasn't he matured a little bit past that? There's just something about why is he still going with that. And then we just noticed a lot of the Cowboy players on the sideline.
That's personal
all
stuff.
got their big chains and everything going.
Cut them off.
All right. Appreciate the phone call. James, unhappy with the aesthetics of the Cowboys sideline. Unhappy that Randy Gregory didn't play. Doesn't think he's accomplished much or done anything.
Yeah, man. I think people have to have their own individual takes about things. You know, I appreciate guys and gals that have a little bit different look. You know, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to roll with. That ain't for me to say that.
Total line.
As long as they, you know,
it's a
his
slippery
job
slope.
is when they hand him the ball is to run, to catch, to block, to score, to do the best he can. I think the thing with Randy Gregory is that, you know, Randy Gregory is one of those guys. He is a player, and you know, that I saw in Oxnard as one of your better defensive players. You know, and me personally, I don't feel like that he has to play in the first preseason game.
Not the first one.
But, you know, if we go through 3 other preseason games and Randy Gregory's not out there against an Arizona or a Houston, you know, and getting some work, you know, then I'm like, okay, something's up. But, man, Randy Gregory practiced hard in Oxnard. Hard. He was going up against Tyron Smith when Smith was in there. You know, he was taking some rushes against Lyle Collins. He was getting his work in. Let's not overreact on a first preseason game.
James was not happy, and he kept referring to we were watching. So I'm trying to figure out who the other guy was.
The fashion police.
Very unhappy with how Zeke looked. Not happy with the chains. Not happy with Randy Gregory. I found this interesting stat, and this speaks to Gregory and what he has or hasn't accomplished yet. But among 124 edge rushers with at least 150 pass rushes, Gregory ranked 11th in pressure rate last season. DeMarcus Lawrence was 13th.
Yeah.
He had a very underrated season last year, Randy Gregory.
Yeah, and you know, you talk to Randy, you know, he doesn't want to, you know, he understood what happened with, you know, with the guy in front of him there. You know, that Alden Smith was, you know, that was a Jim Tom Sula, Mike Nolan type of a player there, you know. And
San Francisco former 49er.
Yeah, Alden Smith started off pretty well, and then, you know, things started falling off the rails for him. You know, he got wore down, and some off the field things happened to him. But, you know, Randy's one of those guys to me. Again, I'm not going to get upset in a week 1 preseason game,
exhibition game.
You know, he'll play against Arizona, he'll play against Houston, and hopefully you'll call back and, you know, and talk to Ari and, you know, Barry Church. Yeah, and then you can, you know, talk about your displeasure of maybe how bad he played or how good he played.
That was a legendary call right there. 877-881-1053, 877-881-1053. And I don't say that in a good way. Lane in Euless. Go ahead, Lane. Save us on the Dallas Cowboys postgame show.
Yeah.
I just want to ask a question about kind of what you just said about winning in preseason. I know a lot of people don't really care about that, but I cannot remember the last time this team has actually won a preseason game. Do you think you guys think that means anything for this team?
No. I mean, Archer tweeted out
individuals.
And Todd Archer's one of my best friends. Archer tweeted out the last 4 times they played in the Hall of Fame game and lost, they've made the playoffs. The last time the other times that they played and won, they didn't make the playoffs. So no, I think it's okay. I'll tell you this. I think there's some importance to it when you're a completely brand new head coach. Okay? And when no one knows what type of head coach you are, this guy is an established head coach, whether you like it or not, you know? And I kind of feel like that, I've always felt like winning is important, but it's more important for a coach that's never been a head coach.
Facts.
Because you're trying to convince everybody in that locker room that you can win.
Facts.
That you have a plan to win. I've seen teams go 4-0 in the preseason and just be god-awful in the regular season.
I remember there was a stat at one point where it was like the Super Bowl champion for 5 straight years had gone 0-4 in the preseason.
Yeah, it happens.
I mean, at the end of the day, you've got guys that are not the majority of guys that decide these games aren't going to be playing on this football team.
Yeah,
facts.
So it's hard to put any stock into winning or losing.
It's the individual.
I do think it's important for like the guy. I mean, we mentioned all those coaches. I think it's important for that guy in Philadelphia to try and win preseason games because nobody knows what he is as a head coach. I mean, you want to be able to have some buy-in there.
Facts.
And if you win in the preseason, maybe you can carry that over to the regular season. But you're right. There's been a lot of teams that have 0-4'd this thing and done just fine.
And the thing that I've noticed too, training camp and preseason, like there's just no correlation. Like you can find guys that have good preseasons and they end up having good seasons. You find guys that have good preseasons and then you never hear from them again. Well, you have guys that have bad preseasons and bad training camps that have good seasons. I mean, you know what I mean? Like you see examples of good preseasons, good training camp performances, and good outcomes, but you see the opposite too.
I was more encouraged by Jabril Cox today in what I saw, and I know it was late in the game.
Yeah.
He kind of showed up. He had 4 tackles.
Yeah.
And he had that chase play to the outside on the 4th down.
That was a play.
But that's 4 more plays that he made than he made in training camp.
Facts.
That's the kind of stuff I'm looking for. The wins and losses, great, but I'm all about. You think Mike McCarthy would have gone for it for 4th and whatever on his own 32-yard line to give the Steelers the ball right there?
No, I don't think so.
No. Do you think he was caring about winning there? No, I don't think he was.
And that's one of the things that I see. I don't like that. Like you should treat a preseason game in terms of decision making like a regular season game because you want to. You know, it's the idea of like practice the way you want to play.
Oh yeah, they
get into those habits.
Yeah, they practiced coming off the goal line when we were there last week. And what happened? Rico Dowdle had a 20-something yard run coming off the same play. Zeke, this time it was Zeke though. It was Zeke in practice that ran it off right tackle for like 20-something yards. Ran the same play to Dowdle, and they were able to make the same gain. So that's the kind of stuff you want to see.
Facts.
Brian Broaddus, Ari Temkin. This is the Dallas Cowboys postgame show brought to you by Geico. Great
glory
news.
hole.
There's a quick way you can save money. Switch to Geico. Go to geico.com.
I mean, it made some valid points, man. I know at the end of the day we want to win. I want to win everything I'm in, but this is more so, man, that play that he was talking about, number 48 did at the end there, oh, my goodness. The way he came down and sit off that edge, oh, my goodness. And it was toward the latter part of the game there. And number 43, Azura Kamara, now we know that his name's standing out now, and what we're seeing in training camp can translate over to the field. So those guys, man, the hidden gems, I'm going to see, like I wish I can go back to training camp now and just see the verbiage and the language and all of that stuff on how they feel about this whole entire situation as it relates to now we play the game, and I want to see how their mindset will be. So it is what it is at this point, but let's keep it real, Cowboy Nation. This is still a glorified exhibition game, scrimmage game. They on commercial break, but they spitting the truth. And I might joke about a player hair color, or what they got on their nose, whether or not it's nose rings and multiple nose rings, if they got a tongue ring, or if they got like different color contacts in. But I would never confuse that with their style on a play on the field. These guys got it right. Look, they've been wearing chain. You know, Dion had big chain. My guy Michael Irvin used to play with a big chain on. So there's nothing new under the sun with that. Come on, let's be real with it now. Just because now you got cameras everywhere that's shooting at an 8K for crying out loud, we shouldn't sully or denigrate those millionaires that's sitting on the sideline with their bling. And now, as far as Randy Gregory, it would have been pointless to see Randy Gregory out there. What's the other guy for the Steelers? Is it JT or is it TJ, the guy that we wanted, Watts? We didn't see him out there. I mean, can you imagine if there was TJ Watt versus our number 79? Come on, man. Oh, it would have been trouble for us, man. Yeah. Izzy got beat from Omega. Shout out to you. Jessica, appreciate you so much for tuning in. Stop drinking the Kool-Aid. This is Normal. I think that's how you say your name, 901. Appreciate you, man. I root for this team, regardless, come hell and high water. I'm going to drink plenty of Kool-Aid so much, man. I'm going to drink the Kool-Aid over here. But when we lose, we lose. You know, Cowboy Nation is not the end of the world, right? It's definitely not the end of the world. So, but we can evaluate and say, okay, DiNucci got a lot of stuff to worry. You know, man, goodness, man, DiNucci got a lot of stuff to go through. But let's see if he can make those corrections. Shout out to you, Chris Davis. Appreciate you for following the channel and doing your support. Rashard, he got the Eagles head out there. Hey, you better quit talking. Your team got to play, I think, next week or sometime. So we'll be looking in on that team. And boy, oh boy, what the levels of confidence that you guys got in your quarterback when y'all start talking about Deshaun Watson. What do you think that does to your quarterback, the one that you got on your team that's under contract?
And this product, once you blow it into your attic.
And it's still on commercial break. Shout out to you, Nikki. Appreciate you. So we could take some good points away. Number 11, Bohanna. Also, Reggie Davis, he did a good job. Maurice Kennedy did a good job, right? Eagles are garbage. Stop it. Yeah. DeFucci. Darth. Oh, my goodness. I don't know what he was thinking. Dallas fan since 1997. God bless you, man. Yeah. Let me see if the AI is going to speak on that one, though. Yeah. Eagles last place in the NFC East. Yeah. Seiwu. Oh, yeah. Orico. Yeah. T. Dilly, what's good with you, man? Wright was good. Yeah.
Carter making a case for making team.
Yeah. Carter. Rondell Carter? Yeah. The booty. Shout out to the baby, too. Kevin Joseph played well. Yes, you're right. 8-9 is my birthday. Okay. Miss Jessica, I'm going to be sure we'll get ready for you on the 9th of this month on your birthday. Joseph did his job. Yep.
Mentioned to reporters after the game that he had a fumble recovery in his first college game. So here he is with a fumble recovery in his first, preseason game with the Dallas Cowboys falling to the Pittsburgh Steelers 16-3. Great to have you with us in the postgame show. I'm Ari Tempkin along with Brian Broaddus, the Super Bowl winning NFL scout, on Twitter at Brian Broaddus. I'm on Twitter at Ari Sports. Of course, you can always join the postgame show at 877-881-1053, taking your questions for Broaddus in terms of what he saw in Oxnard, big picture Cowboys topics, big picture for this season or in this game, 877-881-1053. Dak Prescott was on the practice fields in Oxnard, California, and he was able to chat with the gentleman on Fox during the halftime show of this game.
Definitely miss being there, seeing all the fans and that great atmosphere, but I'm just staying back, getting myself healthy, doing all the things necessary to get back on the field as soon as I can with my teammates.
And Dak, this is Michael. We know a lot was made about your contract that you signed the offseason. I think it was, this year alone, $75 million. We're all choking here at the desk because we've never seen anything like that.
Whoa, what's going on?
I'm just wondering, do you feel any extra pressure coming off an injury with that contract to go out there and perform at your best?
I mean, I've said before, I think pressure is privilege. I'm just excited to come back from this injury, doing everything that I had to do to get my body ready. Obviously, getting the contract done, knowing that my future's here in Dallas, and I'm just excited to get back out there with my teammates and put my best effort forward.
Dak, this is Terry. I remember your first preseason game when you played against the Rams, and you were phenomenal. And I'm sitting there by myself saying, this guy's something special. The contract rewards that special quality that you have. The injury, two parts, I guess. There's number one, how long do you think you'll be able to get in the action and find yourself comfortable? And number two, I don't understand where the injury was in your shoulder. When I heard it, I thought it would be the rotator side, but it's my understanding it's actually underneath the shoulder. Is that correct?
The back. Yeah, that's correct. But as far as my ankle, I mean, I've done so much rehab. I've worked continuous a lot of hours just to get myself back, and I'm very confident in it. So I don't think it'll take any time before I'm just back out there. I mean, the practices that I've had, I didn't think about my ankle. I was just being a part of the offense, being a part of all of it. So now it's just about getting the shoulder behind me. And one, we're just being cautious. We're taking it day by day. Obviously, it's 5 weeks before season opener. So I've got a lot of time, and I'm going to use that time and get myself ready for that game.
Good luck, young man.
Hey, Dak, besides your injury, your offensive line was all beat up last year. How's it going to feel to get those big fellas back in the lineup?
it's going to feel great. We had a lot of injuries hurt our offense and hurt our team last year. So just getting, especially those three big guys back, Zach Martin, Tyron Smith, and Lyle Collins, and then just having that unit back together. Every time I get in the huddle and I see those guys, I let them know the band's back together, and there's nothing like it when we're all in there and we're all healthy.
We appreciate you taking the time to join us here live. Next time we see you, hopefully it's in a uniform.
Best of luck. Have a great day, young man.
Who was killing himself coughing?
And on the halftime show on the Fox set, anything stand out to you there?
Yeah, what was Terry's question?
I don't know. I mean,
he was asking about the body part.
Right. Where is the injury?
Yeah, where's the injury? And then he's asking him something about his ankle?
Yeah, so I think he said, like, when are we going to see you in action feeling comfortable?
Okay.
Now, he sort of sidestepped he said it's under the shoulder.
Yeah, it's under his shoulder blade is what it is, or in that area. And then, but the whole ankle part of it, I think the thing was that the practices that he was at, or until his arm, when they went to full pads, but before that, he was throwing the football and stuff like that. And there were rushers around him in those situations. It was just a matter of the OTAs and the mini camps. They just didn't want anybody falling around him or any of that stuff.
Right.
I don't think that's going to be the problem with Dak.
The ankle.
No. I don't think the ankle is going to be a problem. Now, I'll say this though. I think it does take him some time to get the ankle loose, because you could watch him early in practice and you could see he works hard to make sure that it gets loose. And then as the practice goes along, you could see a little bit better mobility there.
From the shoulder, how concerned are you?
It's his throwing arm. We talked about that. I was told, whether you want to believe my sources or not, I'm just telling you what I was told, that in the spring and the summer when he could start throwing, he immediately started throwing. And I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that he didn't really get to throw all year other than, early in the season.
And he's just a relentless worker.
He is. He's a terrible patient. He is a terrible patient because, and I mean that out of respect. I'm not saying that.
And we're not just blowing smoke here.
No. He and Britt Brown together. And if you saw the Fox thing tonight, the Cowboy trainers won the Ed Block Courage Award for their work with their team, which was tough. They had a ton of injuries, but Britt Brown is relentless. Dak Prescott is relentless. There's a side of me that was talking about, we learned about that second surgery and stuff, that believed it was probably because of overwork. That Dak pushed it hard, Britt pushed it hard, and they had to go in there and clean some stuff up. But I was also told, though, when you have that type of injury, when it's a compound fracture, when you have that exposure, you can't fix everything at that one time. You have to go back in.
We ain't
worried
about the ankle.
That Dak and
Get back to the arm.
Push this thing hard every single day. And when Dak had the opportunity to throw, whether it's, where he's getting those young receivers over there or getting the tight ends, whoever, he's going to go throw and practice. And, it's throwing arm, when Troy hints around, somebody's telling him something.
Facts.
But if you do the MRI and they find damage, he ain't out there practicing, bro.
Yeah.
He ain't out there throwing left-handed and running around, because if it's damaged and he accidentally just rears back and throws one with his right arm, you could have major problems.
Rips a whole bunch of stuff.
The fact that he's out there practicing or going through the footwork aspect of things, that tells me that it's something. It's more about the rest than it is anything.
The postgame show is brought to you by Papa John's. Better ingredients, better.
Y'all hear what he's saying? And that's what I thought too. Like, if it's torn, if it's like bruised to the point that it kind of like shredded a little bit, or a slight tear, they would have said, "Look, man, we're gonna put you in a hyperbaric chamber and all of those things." And Dak need to get one of those, by the way. We're going to put you in those hyperbaric chambers. You're not even going to be seen until like week 4 or something like that of the preseason, or the final week of the preseason to be out there on the field. But it's not nothing to do like that.
105.3. Chris in Ohio. Go ahead, Chris. You're on the Dallas Cowboys postgame show.
Hey, how you doing, sir?
Excellent, thank you.
No, that's great. Chris Vance, I'm always listening to 105.3 as well as Law Nation.
Appreciate that.
I am excited about
Shout out to
what
him.
I saw today as far as defensively. Kind of worried about Joseph. What do you guys think about Joseph?
Shout out to him.
How his development is going to be if we need to bring in a veteran and Luke Gifford as well, kind of like Luke.
Yeah, Luke did a nice job, and I think that with the thing with Joseph, the one thing that he was OTAs mini camps, he was not in shape. When he got to Oxnard, he got an opportunity. The 5 to 6 weeks that they were off before training camp, I thought he took great advantage of. Physically, he looked good. He moved around well. He missed a couple of practices with hamstring tightness, and then got back out on the field. I was seeing some really positive things with him at training camp. I'm trying to think of tonight. I think maybe one ball went his direction. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. It seems like
they were avoiding him.
It seemed like they were going at right more than they were Joseph.
Yeah.
And I think that there was one time that he came up and made a physical play.
I'm going to cut this one up
the
all
ball
day.
spilled to his
Y'all know
side.
I'm going to cut this section up.
What I'm seeing, or what I saw at OTAs and minicamp, that wasn't good enough. What I saw at training camp gives me some hope that this kid's got a chance to be a really, really good corner.
I mean, I think beyond quarterback, cornerback is the most difficult position to transition from college to the NFL because it's a passing league. The concepts can be so complicated at times. It's just a lot to pick up. And I mean, you're just counting a lot of young players at a really important position, in a position in their secondary last year that just has not been very good.
Yeah, the Cowboys don't have much choice with their young corners, though. I mean, they've got veteran guys. It was, like I say, I was a little disappointed in Anthony Brown and how much separation there was with Claypool on that third down catch. You can't have that. But in practice, he'd been doing a nice job when he had to cover the Noah Browns, the Cedric Wilsons, those guys.
Do you think, at this point, it looks like you've got Diggs, Brown, and Jordan Lewis, Kelvin Joe. Who's starting at this point?
Well, what you're going to see, I think, coaches initially are probably going to go with the 3 veterans, unless DQ wants to just bite the bullet and say, let's go with the young, let's go with the rookie, and let's go with.
And there's a lot to like about Nahshon Wright.
There is.
He's the size, the physicality, 6'4", the length.
Yeah,
he seems to have a good feel. We were talking about.
Yeah, the first pass, I did the long 45-yard pass down the sidelines to Claypool. I don't know what he was doing. It was like he backed up.
Yeah, he did.
Instead of trying to play the ball like offhand or run in there or lay out, use your length to lay out.
Yeah.
Make Claypool have to extend. He had both hands up running like he didn't want to touch. And I'm kind of like, what kind of technique is that? But later in the game, he played much better, too.
Nervous tech.
Right, we were talking about this play that he let his receiver go because he kind of recognized that they were going to pass to flat and made a great play up there.
Sure did, yeah.
But, there's a lot of development needed. The guy asked, the question was, they need to bring in a veteran. Sure, but they don't have money. They're cash strapped. They're paying Zeke Elliott more money than Patrick Mahomes is making against the cap this year.
Yeah.
They don't have any money.
They don't. They really don't. They you could flip switches and try and do this or do that, but I don't know. I'm saying that in a way, but I don't think they want to.
They don't.
They don't.
They don't want to.
They don't want to.
They have had so many opportunities over the last few years to invest at that position, corner and safety. They did it this year more so than ever before in KZ.
They've spent second round picks on third round picks on guys before that haven't worked out. So yeah, they've struggled with the corner position. Byron Jones. Think about that. Byron Jones is one of the better players. They didn't want to pay Byron Jones.
Yeah, they have Cheeto.
Yeah,
they have Ogier. They don't need Byron Jones.
Yeah.
Second round pick, Cheeto.
$17 million. Y'all wanted to pay that?
Brown is 6th round pick. So he's sort of worked out in
Shout
terms
out
of
to
being a
Jimbo.
6th round pick.
It's been tough. Like I say, the curse of the safeties and the cornerback play. Stephen Jones is. People say, well, we haven't really used a lot of more resources on offense. Go through and look at their lineup. Go through it. Look at all they've used picks. First round pick on a linebacker, first round pick on a linebacker, 2 linebackers, a second round pick on Smith, second round pick on Lawrence, Second round,
Tristan Hill,
Randy.
While they talking about that, man, let me give Christopher Vance the ultimate shout out, man, for calling into the radio and say, man, I listen to 105.3 The Fan because I always give him credit. And then he said, man, I also listen to Law Nation. Boy, you just don't know, man. I'll try to hold it back. Man, I penned your comment, man. Christopher Vance, you are the ultimate MVP, man. Man, that's much love from you, man. Look, dog, you just don't know how much that means to me, man. Y'all keep yelling my name so that, sure, when next year we get that media pass, we can go to Jerry Wayne party. Me and Vaj and Big Game James and Skywalker Steele and everybody. Y'all keep mentioning our name. You know, how girls say my name, you know. Oh my goodness, man. Dog, that's so much love, Chris, man. I really, really, really appreciate you. No cap. If you ever in Dallas, man, if you need anything from me, bro, hit me up, man. Hit me up. Text me. 682-214-4087. That's my text line for your mind. Text me, fam. Yeah, you a real one. You're a real one. They on commercial break, man. Dog, you're a real one, fam. And then the good thing about this is that these long form videos, y'all can go back and just listen to these videos, read the comments. I keep the comments to the side just in case something happened. We can always read these comments. But I appreciate you, Chris, man. Appreciate you so much, man. And shout out to everybody that helped and support this channel, man. They on commercial break right now, but Chris, yeah, dog, you the real MVP. And that's my middle name, by the way, you know. So we share something together, man, and we both love the Cowboys. You know, my full, you know, Law Christopher. You know, you guys, Law Christopher Nation, that's my middle name. Come on. Let's go. Law Nation on the station for your consideration. Yeah. Appreciate you, man.
Usually add.
And 1310 the ticket. So if y'all reach out to 1310 the ticket, do the same. They just don't do a lot of Cowboys content because they're not the official. Let's talk number 9. This is from Michael. Did he do anything today? He made like a tackle. Let's go to the sheet over here, man. Number 9. It looked good on him, by the way. Did he make the stat sheet? I know I saw him make a tackle. Y'all let me know if I'm overlooking it. Number 9. Where are you? Oh, wow. He didn't make that tackle? I thought I saw him make a tackle. Y'all see it over here? Oh my God, he didn't make a tackle? I know he made a tackle the first play, the first series. Oh, so they gave it to Parsons. So it was 3 for him. If I'm overlooking it, y'all see number 9? Y'all see? He's not on the stat sheet at all. 57, 40, 38, 33, 11, 36. Wow.
Overtime, and you got
still on commercial break. We'll jump back in when they finish. Yeah, he didn't make a play. I thought he made a play. Well, my thoughts, he didn't make a play. That's not good. But he didn't look bad as well, like Jimbo said. Jalen, he didn't look bad, so I mean, if your name is not called, that's good. And on the defensive side, believe it or not. Oh, Ken, you're right. When he tried to go make that tackle, he tackled Boss Man Fat. So let me see. They gave that tackle to Boss Man Fat. Let me see. They should have gave it to him then. I said, man, number 9, he blew up Boss Man. 24. Cause in love, that's all my. Okay, yeah, here you go right here. That one tackle. They gave it to Boss Man. Yeah, they gave it to Boss Man. All right, so His jersey was clean, and he didn't make any noise out there.
They're to come out.
Still on commercial break. We need backup QBs that's worth a DAMN. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. We're going to have to figure this out. They took 9 and 55 off the field on passing downs. I'm going to have to go back and rewatch the game. When I watch the NFL Game Pass, and hopefully they got it like at 30 minutes, I'm going to look into that, Studwood Cowboy. If they did that, man, you're the real MVP for your awareness of that. If they took him off of passing downs, and that's – but number 55 in practice, I'm talking about practice. He did pretty good in covering the pass there. So a lot of people saying Brown suck. Where do you guys see Anthony Brown at? And I know Jordan Lewis didn't play, but where do you guys see him at on this team? What y'all feel like he's going to do?
Fiberglass or cellulose that's settled.
Anthony Brown got cut in the locker room. I don't know. This other guy, he played pretty good. Kayron Brown. Or is it Kyron? He did pretty good. You know, he made a tackle, he came down and field, and then it was on the edge, and he made a play on the side there. 4th string for Brown. Yeah, Anthony Brown can go. Let's do this. Who was your most disappointing or the guy who you just didn't like on the defensive side? Okay, we got a donation to help elevate this thing. What we got here? Number 9, Law. Let me see if the AI, she's kind of late today. We'll wait for her. Then I'll follow up. Come on, girl. Come on.
This is when Zero's at his absolute best doing this stuff.
Number 9, Lowell, with what you've observed from Oxnard, what is your ideal starting D by position?
Brought to you by Ford.
Starting defensive by position. Thank you for the donation there, Rowan. Parson, he's starting. We clearly need to have him starting. LVE and then number 9, he's starting. Those are your linebacker base. As far as safety, it's going to be DeMonte KZ. And Israel played pretty good, but I think that you put DeMonte KZ still at the roof, and you put Donovan Wilson. As far as the cornerbacks, I still got Diggs and Bossman. And in the situational, I would like to see Nashawn Wright. I know I don't like him inside the slot, but I need to have playmakers on the field. So Nashawn Wright, we didn't see much of Curse, so there could be a telltale sign of Curse in this first game. And as far as our defensive front, of course, D-Law, and the edge other guy would be Randy Gregory. And then, of course, you would have, I think Gallimore is going to get the edge over Tristan Hill. And from what it looks like, it could be Justin Hamilton as that interior guy, but they got Carlos Watkins. And Carlos Watkins, his name wasn't called today, so we'll figure out the rest.
It's the kind of stuff that, the defensive backs have been challenging these receivers and stuff. So, but good for Gilbert. I think he got off to a good start. He just kind of put some games together and put this backup quarterback stuff to rest.
Yeah, good for him. Hope he carries a clipboard all year.
Yeah,
right.
Me too.
Hope we don't have to see him at all.
Nope, don't need to see him.
In any capacity.
Yeah.
Before the game, Jerry Jones, he said publicly that
Hooker going to take some time.
Put Jimmy Johnson in the Ring of Honor.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. They talking about Jimmy Johnson. I'm going to raise the volume up on that in a few. Thank you, Rowan. Appreciate you for your love and adulations for the nation. 33 Burton.
Go ahead, make the announcement.
But we'll be in the Ring of Honor.
There we go.
Jerry,
all right. Love it. Yeah. You heard it here. I will be there.
While I'm alive? Are you going to be able to make it through this Hall of Fame ceremony?
While I'm alive. That is greatness right there. I saw Jimmy kind of hug him, right. And then everybody started cracking up because we couldn't see it.
We were watching with the sound off.
The sound was off, and I'm thinking, I wonder if he made an announcement. I didn't know it was about I thought it was one of those things they might have made up, where they kind of like hugged it out and said, hey, my bad, your bad, that kind of thing. But for him to put, Ring of Honor, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I just love Jimmy's while I'm alive because, that's great. I think you've said before that you'll eventually get in, but, can we do this before I die?
Yeah. It's always nice to be able to do those kinds of things, get recognized.
That was funny.
1053-877-881-1053. David is in Dallas. Go ahead, David. You're on the Dallas Cowboys postgame show.
Hey, man, what's going on with y'all?
Doing well, man. Thank you.
Now, I just wanted to see what's up with the kicker situation, seeing Hunter missed that one right, and then we got that, they blocked that one field goal. I just want to see how it's going in Oxnard.
Yeah, Zerline is the kicker. He has a bad back right now. He's on the PUP list. That's why I don't know why they're joking around here, but they're joking around with letting him kick field goals.
On offense was Mr. Turner for fumbling. A puck was rushed. Puck was Kamara and Parsons.
A procedure done, I believe.
I'm
right about that.
Should they have another kicker in camp?
They're kind of getting cute right now. It's kind of a cute situation. We'll let Nussweiner do it. Come on, man.
Come on.
You can't. You never know when, the early drives, if you make field goals, get up, maybe it changes the complexion of the game a little bit. I know it's preseason, but that's pretty poor to think that Nussweiner, he kicked 2 field goals when we were there. Both of them were extra point range ones. But Zerline is your kicker, and hopefully everything will be okay with him from what I was told.
877-881-1053. Brett in Athens, hopefully not Greece. Brett, go ahead. You're on the Dallas Cowboys postgame show.
Oh, no. Athens, Texas.
Okay,
good spot.
Hello.
Let's go fishing.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Man, what I can say is that this defense plays better when we have a beast in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And most defenses do.
Sure.
I think Micah Parsons can be that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, all the optimism about Randy Gregory, we've seen DeMarcus Lawrence across from Robert Quinn when he had a career year.
Yeah.
It's going to take more than that. And our offense is getting older, and our defense is a young defense. So it'll be interesting to see if Dan Quinn can take a young defense and mold it.
Yeah.
If that's his only focus. And we'll see. I think our biggest problem really is if it was week 10 and we were talking about our quarterback's shoulder, maybe, but at the beginning of the season, we all know, Brian, you definitely know the roller coasters of the NFL season.
Sure.
You don't want to be talking about that at the very beginning.
No.
Love you guys. Love the show. God bless you. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Good call.
If we had
call.
a call of the night,
get him a Ford.
Yeah. Can I give this guy a prize?
Can we get this guy a Ford?
How about, isn't one of our sponsors Tito's?
No, Chris.
Tito's, right? That's one of the sponsors I heard, right?
Sure, why not?
That's the Tito's call of the night right there. I probably got us in trouble doing that. Probably shouldn't have done that, but I'm just going to give that guy the call of the night. But I thought that was a well thought out call. I like that, and I like Athens, Texas, by the way. That's why I gave it to him as well.
And you brought up earlier in the show, and I think it's a really good point about Dan Quinn. There's going to have to be a lot of smoke and mirrors here.
I think so. I think he's going to have to kind of figure out, you get.
Hey, I'm going to answer King question in a few when they get finished talking.
Here he is. We all know the money and all that. And we all get mad at him because he doesn't get enough sacks. But if he plays the run well, he gets those pressures. You get Randy going on the sacks. You get Parsons going. You get Van Der Esch playing downhill. You figure out the combination inside, what's going on with the defensive tackles. Is that Gallimore? Is that Bohanna? Who is
That's the part that I guess concerns me the most.
Well,
Odigizua and Gallimore.
Exactly. Odigizua, there was a couple times he was chasing down, but he got knocked back. He played a lot of this game. I played a lot of this game today. So, it's gonna take some time.
Do you hear about his size and Gallimore's? Both of those guys.
Well, they're one of Gallimore's 310. He looks physically the part. So, you're not playing Gallimore at the 1. You're playing him at the 3.
Facts.
Or the under tackle. So, get Golston in there. They've got some young players, but I do think it is a smoke and mirrors for at least the first 4 or 5 weeks of the season.
What do you mean by that? Explain that for me.
Dan Quinn is going to try and have to out-scheme. He's going to have to come with some creative blitz. He's going to have to come with some packages that maybe some people haven't seen from him. He's going to have to get those guys believing that, they can shoot guys out of the slot and get home on a blitz, or that they could bring Parsons, put his hand on the ground, let him rush. They're going to have to do some creative things until this group completely feels comfortable with each other playing, and then it is that group that grows the right way.
I'm so intrigued by Quinn because he was we heard on the TV broadcast they brought up this has been the move of the offseason for the Cowboys was Dan Quinn. Like, there's
no question.
So much fanfare.
Yeah.
You mentioned, you and Jeff Kavanaugh were watching him coach and teach individual players during training camp. Like, what did you see from him or them schematically, if anything, during camp? Especially when it comes to that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was odd man fronts, which is 3-man lines.
Right.
It's even man line, 4-man lines, stuff like that. It was Parsons, Mike linebacker, Parsons, Will linebacker, Parsons, Sam linebacker, Parsons, hand on ground. Randy and say Basham on the same side. I mean, there were things, but double A gap blitzes.
The Parsons stuff is incredible.
It is.
Like, that is,
yeah, and that's what it's going to
understand. That is so difficult to do.
That's what it's going to take. The guy had the green dot on his helmet today. He got to call defenses. They're loading the wagon on this kid. They are loading him up, and he hadn't short circuited yet, and I don't think he will. I just think this kid is one of those rare football players. And, hopefully, like everybody else, hopefully they feed off the physicality that he plays with. I think people will. I like to say, I like
get with
Randy,
you, Eastside.
like Tank,
Yeah,
figure out the defensive tackles, Van Der Esch, Parsons, hey, what's going on at safety? Which one of those guys is going to play as the free? That's the question you got to ask yourself.
And look, going into this draft, it was get the best defensive player in this draft.
Mm-hmm.
And, look, they probably wanted J.C. Horn. Whatever it was going to take.
They wanted either one of those corners.
Whatever it was going to take to move up was too rich for their blood.
Too rich.
But certainly the Rashawn Slater thing is going to be there too. They're going to be compared. It's like Zeke and Jalen Ramsey all over again.
Because I could say the whole thing with Slater and then Bolton from Missouri are my guys, man. But they'll be fine. This guy will be fine. He will be fine.
But with all that being said, yes, it does look like they've got a guy that is very and is a modern linebacker.
Very modern linebacker. Yep.
Facts.
Yep.
So, and again, at the end of the day, if this offense reaches its potential, the defense doesn't have to be great. Just has to not be terrible.
Yeah.
Just don't be the worst.
Don't be the worst in the league.
Just don't be giving up, be 31st in run defense and 30th in scoring defense.
Yeah.
And, give up the most points in the history of the franchise.
Right.
If you do that, you'll be in good position.
I agree.
So what did we learn today?
Health.
So nothing, but health.
Yeah, you got some young guys that played well today. Go watch the film. That's encouraging. Get that under your belt. Go find a way. You got some work against the Rams this weekend. That'll be good. There'll be some guys who'll be tired and stuff. But overall, if they could get the guys who didn't make the trip to work, I think that was the plan all along. The guys that didn't play will get the work Saturday against the Rams where they can control the environment of practice.
Yeah, the Cowboys will now see 3 different teams over the next 8 days.
That's good stuff.
Now is the time we say goodbye to Brian Broaddus, who's going to be joining Brad Sham in the booth for the rest of the preseason.
Yeah, you and Barry Church do a great job. Have fun.
Thank you. Barry Church, of course, former Dallas Cowboys safety, will be joining me through the rest of the preseason. Next week, Friday August 13th, it's the Cowboys and the Arizona Cardinals from Glendale. Broadcast time 8.
All right, so we will be doing the stick around Cowboy Nation. We will be doing the live play-by-play, my reactions of the preseason training camp practice. I will be doing that one. And I don't know if you can show that game. I'm not going to attempt to do it because of the risk of getting flagged. So I'm not going to show it, but I will be doing live commentary over that one. And then on August the 13th, we'll be doing some live commentary over the Arizona Cardinals game over here on this station. So be sure to hit the notification bell. I got some super chats that I got to answer here. This was from King. Let's hit the replay button.
My disappointment on defense was Ab. My disappointment on offense was Mr. Turner for fumbling. A puck was rushed. Puck was Kamara and Parsons.
Okay, so the disappointment was on defense with AB. This is from King. And then the disappointment on the offense was Turner, the fumble. Yeah, that was horrible. Got to hold on to the ball. Offensive player of the game was Cooper Rush. Okay, defensive player of the game was Kamara and Parsons. It's very, if you're out there in Oxnard, I'm going to have you guys eyeballs out there. Let me know how Kamara, number 43, is doing. because he had like a different level of speed that I really, really liked from a linebacker out there playing. And, of course, Parsons' speed is good too. So Azura Kamara was doing his deal out there. And let me see if that translates to Parsons had 3 tackles. It doesn't translate to the stat sheet, but we know, like we saw the game, he had on 1 tackle. We know that it doesn't translate to like the stat line, but he was everywhere. A gang of assistant tackles there. All right, we got another donation.
Hey,
here.
love the channel even though I'm a Seahawks fan. Do you think the Cowboys have a shot to be the GOAT opening game? What will be their record?
I mean, we do have a clear shot of beating the quote-unquote Tom Brady, the GOAT. But appreciate you for watching and tuning in from Seattle land, eyeballs there. Our team been very comparable for many of years as far as, like, not just the record or what have you, but the style, like run first team, and then you pass the ball with like a conservative type of quarterback who your quarterback has been on the top end of a lot of things, but fell through on the bottom end as far as like whether it's just falling off. So I think that this team can still have that same or similar approach. And if we can create pressure inside the interior there, I think that we can give Tom Brady a run for his money. And there's another Cowboys content creator named Vach Lombardi. You can check out his Twitter handle, and you will see what he typed out of what the Cowboys are going to do against those Tampa Bay Buccaneers week 1. And he speaks it with authority. So y'all can check out his page. Far as I believe Eastside, he said,
were you impressed by what you saw from Dallas?
Todd C, appreciate you. He says YouTube didn't send you the notification. You probably have to refresh and I guess hit that notification bell and then hit it again, and sometimes they'll recharge it or whatever. Whatever YouTube be doing with their notification system. So Eastside says, were you impressed with what you saw with Dallas? And we got Caesar that's finna say something now. So let's see if Caesar can go in with the AI before I give my answer with that situation there. Come on, AI, wake up, girl. There she go.
I was really impressed with Isaac Alarcon. The way he was able to pick up stunts and not allow pressure was awesome to see. Maybe CW to swing tackle?
They're not gonna do that with C-Dub because the Cowboys refuse to be wrong, and they're gonna keep him out there. Maybe C-Dub can swing in as the center, and that will be his role from there. And then you can slide Connor McGovern in as one of the guards, and that would be a situation that they might consider and give Biotish another year to develop. To answer Eastside Harold's question from earlier, Caesar, appreciate you for that. This is what I was impressed with the Dallas Cowboys. If you go back to the stat line, quarter 1-0, quarter 2-0, and that was primarily with majority of our starters on the defense out there. So I think that the Dallas Cowboys defense, our number 1 guys against their pretty much quasi number 1 guys, kind of shut them out for the first half. It's just that when we start kicking in some of the guys, the ancillary pieces, they didn't hold up right. And, of course, the quarterback didn't give it a good example for what you do with a lead and these sorts of things. And because even if we look at this right here, Cowboy Nation, you will see the Cowboys won in every major category outside of turnovers. So that's something that they're going to have to fix up and polish up. Most certainly. I didn't see that one, Dirk. I didn't see that one. Is that Dr. Kirkpatrick? Kaepernick? How you say your name? Dr. Kaepernick? No, I didn't see that one. I didn't see that one, but let the AI speak on it. Really appreciate you for your love and adulations. Ghostin is on the PUP, Eric. Yeah, there we go.
Did you see Bahana make that WR go flying? That's the effort we need from a one tech.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch the game, and that way I can get like my third sets of eyes on it. Watched it one time, talking and everything, not digesting or what they're saying. Then I'm gonna watch it again tonight before I call it in. I know it's 12 o'clock. I know y'all be like, "Hey, Law, where you get this energy from?" And then I might watch it again in the morning time, so I give you guys a fresh notion of the game. All right, Cowboy Nation, I really appreciate you guys so much for hanging in and battling with me and my weird ways of conversating with you guys. But I really appreciate and thank those who are presenting me with the stars on Facebook, man. I really appreciate each and every last one of you all with that. And shout out to everyone who's on the YouTube and Twitter and Twitch page, because we live on multiple platforms. Really, really do appreciate all of you all. All right, so I'll see you guys again on another long stream in the upcoming days. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, share this content, and let your friend, neighbor, foe know where to go when they want to tune in to Cowboy Sports Talk and beyond. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Go Cowboys, let's go. Where my other music at? Come on. Here we go. We're going to let you guys go with... Come on. Y'all get some rest. See y'all in the morning time. It might be a quick 5 to 10 minute video late tonight for those who like the quick ones, not this long live feed. But check it out later. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. My name is Law Nation, by the way. Really appreciate each and every last one of you all. Let me see some fire emojis in the chat. I love seeing that on my way out. Let's make the fire and desire good for everyone. Yeah. Good night. Come on. Yeah. I'm looking for my fire emoji. That's why I'm looking down. Let me fire. Where my firebox at? Where you at, baby? Where you at? The fire and desire. I can't find it. But I refuse to give up. Come on. Yeah. I see the fire. Shout out to you guys so much. Here we go. I puff. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. Hold your cups up, baby. Let's go. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Shout out to Chris, too. Oh, my goodness. You're the real MVP, Chris Vance. From the deep down in the bottom of my heart, soul, and sinew. Yes, indeed. Let's go. Yeah.
Are you not entertained?
I want this Yeah. Jerry, tell him again. Yeah. You're a real one, Chris. Let's go.
a drag of my cigarette. Breathe me out, breathe you in. Yeah. Take a bite of my burger, babe. Save the last bite for you. For you. Ooh. Don't let the street lights hit you all alone. You know it's dangerous to go alone. Don't let the street lights hit you. Could I be your player too? I'll follow wherever you go, whatever you do. Player too. 7 years of the perfect love, 7 more and another one, and another one. Fighting you was the one to last. 7 wonders all in one, all in one. Don't let the street lights hit you all alone. You know it's dangerous to go alone. Don't let the street lights hit you. Could I be your player too? I'll follow wherever you go, whatever you do. Player too. If a paper crane can fly, then forever doesn't feel that far. So far, so far. If a paper crane can fly, then forever doesn't feel that far. So far, so far. If a paper crane can fly, fly on, fly on, fly on, fly on, fly on.